everybody, and welcome back to Cooking with Mike. On this video, we're going to be doing cabbage, and this ain't your ordinary cabbage. This is some take it home to your mama cabbage. All I got to say is, let's dive into it. So what I want to tell you is what I have in this cabbage that makes it so special. I got my bacon, which I like the Jimmy Dean bacon. Now you can pick whatever bacon you want. You can get thick bacon or thin bacon. I like to cut this into little pieces, as well as I've got beef smoked sausage. And I normally use 2 packs. That's 4 links of sausage that I wind up cutting up, because I'm telling you, the more meat, the better the cabbage. Got 2 heads of cabbage because one, hey, it's never enough. And everybody always wants more than one bowl. Now let's move on to the seasonings. So I got the garlic parsley powder, which I absolutely love on almost anything I eat. Cajun. Now you don't want to add too much Cajun because it's going to get spicy. However, I will say a little bit of a kick always does best. I got my Creole Seasoning, my Fajita Seasoning, I got chicken bouillon powder, and I've got beef bouillon powder. Now, I'm not going to give any kind of specifics on exactly how much I use of each. I feel like you have to go with what your taste buds like. And for me, I put to taste. All right, so the first step I like to do is go ahead and peel the outside layer of the cabbage, just like so. Once you get that done, then I'm going to show you exactly how I cut it. Now, I'm not going to show you the whole process, and I like to cut it in thin layers so it's easier to break apart and easier to wash. So now the very next step after we cut our cabbage up is to make sure that we wash it. So the very next thing that I like to do is cut up the sausage. The sausage would be the first meat that I cook. I like to cut it into real thin strips because it cooks a little faster. As you see right here, I'd say about a 1/4 inch thick, makes the perfect size. All right, everybody. So now we're moved on to the bacon. And I'm going to do the bacon the exact same way that I did the sausage. I want to cut it into little pieces because you want it to be able to put that throughout the entire cabbage. And since we have 2 heads of cabbage, we really need to be able to put bacon on each layer of those heads of cabbage. So, as I said, we're going to cut into little pieces just like so. All right, everybody. So now that I've got my bacon cut up, the very next step that we're going to be doing is taking this bad boy to the pan. And here's what it looks like. All right, so now we're going to be cooking our sausage. And yes, I use paper plates. And you know why? Because I don't feel like washing dishes. So don't come at me in the comments. I'm just saying that right now. I'm just being honest with you. So the very first thing is we let our pan heat up. I like to spray it because I don't want my meat to stick. And it's not really working all that great because I'm almost out. So we're going to try another one. All right, so, there we go. All right, we have a winner. Now, another thing I like to do too is once I actually spray the pan, I'm going to put some butter in there because I don't know why, but butter and meat just, come on, man. Anyhow. See my paper plate? So we're going to let that melt down a little bit, guys. Now, as we let that melt down, we're going to go ahead and get ready for our sausage. I don't want to put the sausage in just yet. I want to make sure the butter is melted all the way through the pan, because I don't want no sausage to be left behind. All right, so let's throw the sausage in there, guys. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And we're going to let that cook on both sides of the sausage. Guys, so it's been a few minutes. Already you can smell the aroma. See how they're getting golden brown? That's the color that we want for our sausage. A few more minutes of this right here, and we'll be ready to go to the bacon. Okay, guys, so now I got it to exactly the way that I want it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put it into this metal bowl, like so. And we're going to put this pan to the side for right this moment. All right, everybody, so now we're going to be cooking the bacon. My favorite part of the entire thing because 1, I love the way it tastes, and 2, I love the way it smells. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the pan, all cut up. And we're going to put this in right after we do the sausage, so we don't have to spray it or nothing like that. The good thing about bacon is it has its own fat, so it won't stick to the pan. So now we're gonna go ahead and cook this until it's nice and crispy before we go on to the next step. This right here will go ahead and give a whole bunch of flavors in the pan whenever you go to put it into the cabbage. Now I will say that when you're not doing content creation, however, it is a little easier to multitask and go back and forth. Normally I'll have everything cut up as I'm cooking something else. However, because I put you guys first, and because I know you love me and I love you and all that good stuff, I had to go ahead and at least show you step by step the way that it needs to be done. So with that being said, now we're on the bacon, which is my favorite part. All right, everybody, so the bacon is nice and crispy. One of the things that I want to add to this, though, is make sure that you keep moving the bacon around so you don't actually burn one particular piece, or you don't have a group of bacon that's actually burnt and the other group is not burnt. I do this right here so that way it's cooked evenly. Now for me, anytime I cook meats, I don't like to cook my meats on high. So normally for me, I put it on like maybe 4 or a little less than 4, which is about a medium. And I let it cook nice and slow. But now that this is about ready, this will be crispy once it sits out for a minute or so. So we're gonna mix that in with the sausage. And you don't want to throw out the bacon grease. Bacon grease is liquid gold, guys. Like, I'm telling you, if you want any kind of good cooking, you gotta have bacon grease, baby. All right, so now that we got the meats into the bowl, we're gonna set our pan to the side. Now, the very next step that we're gonna be doing, guys, is we're gonna go ahead and get the pot so that we can actually start beginning to cook our cabbage. I know you're excited. So we're gonna go ahead and set this to the side, everybody. Let our bacon grease cool down. Now, the very next step that I wanna do is go ahead and put the pot on here. One of the things that I want to add to the bottom of the pot, there's some water up here causing this thing to make noise. So my house is not haunted, guys. I'm just telling you that right now. So the very next thing that we're going to be doing, let's move forward, is we're going to take the pot and we're going to go ahead and put this on the stove. Now, you want to have some liquid in the bottom of the pot so then that way it kind of steams the cabbage. Me personally, you can use water, but me personally, I love beef broth. I feel like this gives a real good flavor for the bottom, and it makes a good roux too. So if you guys like to make like Alfredo, or you like to make something else, you can actually use the juice from this cabbage. Trust me, if you let anybody try this cabbage, I brought cabbage to my job the other day, guys, and I had people lined up. I just want to tell you, I'm just saying, like, listen to me now. Look, this is my serious face, look. I just want to tell you that if people try your cabbage, it's not my fault or my responsibility what happens. Just saying. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and pour the beef broth into the pot. I was just checking to see if you was about to do that. And I'm glad that I was able to see that. So you want to put the beef broth in and then put it on the hot eye. Just to give you a heads up, just so you know. So let's try it again. See, that sounds better, guys. And I'm probably putting in about a half a cup or so. This thing's already right at being empty. What I really want to do, guys, the overall goal is to actually fill the bottom of it up. You don't want it real thick. You just want to fill the bottom of it up. Now, I'm going to attempt to go ahead and put this back on that eye. So just be mindful. Saw that? Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in 1 head of the cabbage that we've already washed. And then I'm going to put a little bit of meat on top of it, about half the meat, season it, and then I'm going to repeat the process. So watch. There we go, guys. So do it about like this right here. Now, I'm going to take some bacon and some sausage, and I'm going to go ahead and spread it all throughout, because I want the cabbage to get the flavor in that it deserves. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and move to the seasonings. Once we put our meats on there, now we gotta season it. So I'm gonna start off with the beef broth and chicken broth. Now I like to use a spoon because there's a lot of sodium in beef and chicken broth. You don't wanna use too much. So I use, for me, on the first head, 2 tablespoons. Then I'm gonna do the chicken. I'm gonna do the same thing with the chicken, probably about 2 tablespoons or so. A lot of people sleep on these seasonings, guys, but I'm telling you, these right here really make a dish. Now we're gonna go to the Fajita Seasoning. And as I said before, I don't really give measurements. I just do this until it looks the way I want it and tastes the way that I want it. Now I've already made this so many times that I already know how much I like into this. So, Cajun, this is that little bit of kick that I was talking about earlier. Not too much. Then we're gonna move to the Creole. A little bit of that. And the garlic parsley powder. A little bit of that. Now, as I said before, we're gonna repeat that process. So now we're gonna put the rest of the cabbage on top. And once we do that, we're gonna take the rest of the meat and also put this on top. I mean, really, look what I did there. Is it not beautiful? Isn't that the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? And then we're gonna repeat the process with the seasonings. Now that we have the meats, we have the cabbage, we have the seasonings. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this bad boy. And I've got it cooking on a medium like I was saying earlier. I don't like to cook anything on high. So I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna allow all the liquid to go throughout the cabbage. I'm gonna allow all the flavorings, all the seasonings, everything to kind of boil this all the way down. Now you see that with 2 heads of cabbage that's at the very top, by the time this thing gets done, it's probably gonna be about maybe right here. But when I tell you it has an impact, maybe small, but you know, dynamite comes in small packages. I'm telling you, just listen to me. Help me help you. All right, guys, so now that we have everything in here, let's go ahead and let this bad boy cook down. I would say probably give it about 20 minutes and check on it. If it's not a consistency that I want, normally I'll wait another 10 minutes or so. But it normally doesn't take any longer than about 20 to 30 minutes for this to actually cook down to the consistency that I like and the consistency that everybody else has liked. That being said, let me go ahead and let this cook and I'll bring you back so we can see the finished product. All right, everybody, so this is my finished product. The best part of cooking is the part where you get to eat it. This is what you came for. This is what I made for. So let's go ahead and taste this real quick and see what it tastes like. Because first of all, take a look. You just got to see that. I'm just saying for yourself. So let me see what this tastes like. That's the one. Listen, guys, I'm going to tell you this right here. You don't have to just make it as cabbage. This is good in egg rolls. You can actually take the juice and you can do ramen with it. Don't throw away the broth. Now, I know that you may be tempted to get rid of some of that liquid gold, but baby, trust me, it is liquid gold. That's what it's used for. That's what it's designed for. Let's use it for what it's for. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys really enjoy this. Leave a comment in the comment section if you try it and it changes your life. And if so, I can't wait to see you guys on my very next video. That being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed day.